Hi guys, today is a day that all PlayStation gamers have been waiting for, as Forza Horizon 5, which is an Xbox and PC exclusive, is finally available on PlayStation 5, which is amazing news, and personally I never thought this would ever happen. So I'll be testing this out on 3 different wheels: the Logitech G29 with the driving force shifter, the Fanatec GT DD Pro together with the Club Sport shifter and Club Sport handbrake, and finally with the Logitech G Pro racing wheel with the RS shifter and handbrake, to see what the performance is like on these different wheels and to check if the accessories work. I'll also provide my best wheel settings for each of these wheels to hopefully enhance the driving experience even more. Details for all the items I'll be showing today are in the description below, including purchasing links. But before I begin, if you're new to the channel, hope you can support me by subscribing and hitting the bell icon to get notified of my next release. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. For those of you who don't know anything about Forza Horizon 5, you're going to be in for a real treat on PlayStation 5. It's an open world racing game with hundreds of new cars, events and challenges added, as well as 2 DLCs, Hot Wheels and Rally Adventure. PlayStation compatibility wise, it's only available on the PS5 and PS5 Pro, but it's not going to be released on the PS4. There's 3 editions of the game available, so a standard edition, a deluxe edition and a premium edition. I've got the premium edition, which takes up around 160 gigs of storage. The game will only be available digitally from the PlayStation Store, and there's no plans at this moment in time for a disc release. If you already own the game on a different platform, you don't automatically get the game free on PlayStation. When you start the game for the first time, you'll need a Microsoft account and you'll need to link that to your PlayStation account. But this doesn't mean it'll save cross-platform, and you won't be able to transfer any of your previous game progress from your Xbox or PC, so you'll be starting from scratch in terms of game progress. You can play on the PS Portal when streamed from your PS5 console using remote play, but there's no cloud edition like with the Xbox cloud gaming side, where you can play this on various devices without downloading it, which is a bit of a shame. It's not a PSVR 2 game, as it doesn't feature any virtual reality support, but you can play it using the headset, using the cinematic mode, where it's like playing in front of a massive screen. Graphics and picture quality wise, I've done a side-by-side comparison between the PS5, PS5 Pro and the Xbox Series X, with all the modes set to quality on each platform. They say the PS5 Pro offers enhanced ray trace reflections, not just in garages, but also during races and free roam, with it benefiting from improved textures and lighting effects. But seriously, in all honesty, without looking at the graphics over a microscope, it all looked very similar in gameplay, so not as blatantly obvious when you're gaming. Let's begin by testing this out on my Logitech G29 with the driving force shifter, with this being the entry-level budget option, providing 2.1 Newton meters of torque. I've got this set up in my living room, and I'll be using a foldable sim racing cockpit from Playseat. This is the Challenge X Logitech G edition. I've got the wheel connected to my PS5 Pro, and my TV is the LG OLED G3, which is 65 inches in size. Now before starting, I've gone in and adjusted the difficulty and set the shifting from automatic to manual with clutch. Now jumping in, and straight away the accelerator is working, and I can feel the force feedback coming through to the wheel. The road surface is very rough, and I can feel the rumble feeding back to me, feeling awesome. Testing out the driving force shifter, and all the gears are working, including reverse. The rev counter is working too, so that's great news. The G29 feels really good at the budget entry level point. It's a little bit noisy as it works on gears and cogs, but nevertheless gives a great experience. With the default settings, I found controllability wise it was okay, but it can be bad at times where it does feel like you easily lose control. So I've had to play around with some of the in-game settings, and the following settings worked best for me on the G29. Going into settings, difficulty, I've got steering set to simulation, traction control set to on, and stability control set to on. Then going into settings, advanced controls, I've got the steering linearity set to 55, vibration scale set to 0.4, force feedback scale set to 1.2, center spring scale set to 2.0, wheel damper scale set to 2.0, mechanical trail scale set to 2.0, force feedback minimum force set to 0.8, force feedback load sensitivity set to 1.1, road feel scale set to 0.7, off-road feel scale set to 0.5, and that's it. Let me know if these settings helped out or not, and if you have any better settings, drop them in the comment section below, as it may help other people out. Next, on to testing this out with the Fanatec GT DD Pro with a GT wheel, which gives 5 Newton meters of torque, and this is a mid-range wheel option. I've got this all set up on my sim racing rig from Next Level Racing. This is a GT Elite, and my monitor is the LG Ultra Gear 48 GQ900. Jumping into the game, and the wheel seems to be working fine. Paddle shifters are working, shifting up and down through the gears, and this change is represented on the screen as you can see. Next, onto the pedals, and they seem to be working as expected, providing a good level of immersion. The clutch is used in conjunction when shifting and only applied if you set the transmission to manual with clutch, and if you didn't want to use it, set the transmission to manual. Testing the shifter, and there's 2 modes on this. I've currently got it set to H pattern mode, and as you can see here where I'm shifting through the gears, it's working perfectly with the gear change shown on the screen. Switching to sequential mode, and that works perfectly too. Onto the handbrake, and this wasn't working, so to get it working I had to assign it in game by going into settings, controls, change button mapping, select wheel, and assign the e-brake to the handbrake. Testing this out, and seriously, the difference between this and the entry-level Logitech wheel is like night and day, with the racing experience feeling hugely better. It has a direct drive wheelbase, meaning it's essentially a motor on which you can mount your steering wheel, which gives you strong, incredibly smooth and detailed force feedback, with it feeling very smooth, refined, and giving a good amount of detail from bumps, curbs, and the track itself, helping to accurately experience the feedback, with it feeling much more refined and detailed. The pull from the wheel feels great, with the terrain feeding back really well through the wheel. Paddle shifters performed well, shifting through the gears together with the pedals, giving a great experience, being responsive and accurate. Now I've got the transmission set to manual with clutch, and you're able to use the shifter or the paddle shifters in this mode. And just a note, you can change gears in this mode without pressing the clutch, without it making a major difference on the car. So this may be more car dependent, I think. Performance was generally good on the wheel with the default in-game settings, but I did tweak the settings slightly. So going into settings, difficulty, I've got steering set to simulation, traction control set to off, and stability control set to off. Then going into settings, advanced controls, I've got steering linearity set to 55, vibration scale set to 0.2, center spring scale set to 2.0, mechanical trail scale set to 0.8, force feedback load sensitivity set to 1.1, road feel scale set to 0.7, off-road feel scale set to 0.5, and this generally worked well for me, but again, let me know if you have any improvements on this. Over to the Logitech G Pro racing wheel and Pro pedals, with the wheelbase providing 11 Newton meters of torque. I've got 2 RS shifters and handbrakes, with one set up as a shifter and the other one set up as a handbrake. To test this out, I've set the shifter to sequential mode and changed the shifting to manual. Jumping in and trying this out, and the wheel and pedals worked perfectly, but the handbrake and shifter by default didn't work. So to get it working, I had to assign it in game. So going into settings, controls, change button mapping, select wheel, and assign the e-brake to the handbrake, and then assign the shift down and shift up actions. After that, it worked perfectly. Let's do a test drive, and the difference between this and the entry-level Logitech G29 wheel is a big leap forward, with the racing experience feeling massively better, with it feeling very smooth, refined, and given a good amount of details from bumps, curbs, and the track itself, helping to accurately experience the feedback, with it feeling much more refined and detailed. The torque levels feel very strong compared to both the Logitech G29 and the Fanatec GT DD Pro. The pull from the wheel feels great, from the terrain feeding back really well through the wheel. You can feel the track whether you're driving on a normal road or a dirt track. The paddle shifters performed well, shifting through the gears together with the pedals, giving a great experience, being responsive and accurate. The RS handbrake worked perfectly as expected, and the RS shifter performed well, shifting up and down through the gears. It's just a shame Logitech doesn't have a Pro H-pattern shifter yet. You could use the Logitech driving force shifter with a Logitech racing adapter, but that shifter really feels like a toy with quite a cheap feel to it, so something I really wouldn't recommend doing. In terms of true force, it's not supported on Forza Horizon 5 on any platform, so even on a PlayStation, which is a real shame. Performance on the wheel was generally good with the default in-game settings, but I did tweak that slightly. So going into settings, difficulty, I've got steering set to simulation, traction control set to off, and stability control set to off. Then going into settings, advanced controls, I've got steering linearity set to 55, vibration scale set to 0.4, center spring scale set to 1.5, mechanical trail scale set to 0.9, force feedback load sensitivity set to 1.1, road feel scale set to 1.1, off-road feel scale set to 1.2. This generally worked well for me, and again, let me know if you have any improvements on that, because hopefully it will help others too. Now testing on a DualSense controller, and feedback wise with the accelerator you've got a smooth consistent motion, but on the brake the adaptive triggers come into effect, giving feedback as you're braking, and as you're racing the haptic feedback on the controller adds to that, working really well, giving feedback from the road surface and any bumps and knocks you experience along the way, helping to give a more immersive driving experience. In comparison to the Xbox controller, the PlayStation DualSense definitely gives a more enhanced experience, which I say gives it the edge over the Xbox controller, as it definitely gives a more immersive racing experience when you're on a controller. The unique haptic feedback and adaptive triggers can make it feel like you're truly gripping the road, with every sensation coming straight back to you. So there you have it, you've come to the end of another video, and I hope it's helped anyone wondering if Forza Horizon 5 works with a selection of popular PS5 compatible racing wheels and their respective accessories, and do let me know if my wheel settings have helped you in improving the racing experience, or you have a selection of any better settings. Drop them in the comments below. Details for all the items I've mentioned in today's video are in the description below, including purchasing links. And for those of you who've got to the end of this video, please leave a comment with Forza, as it's nice to see who's got to the end of my video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you are looking for the best PlayStation 5 racing wheels, check out my buyer's guide video next. Follow me on all my socials. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to be notified of my next release. Thanks for viewing, and see you in the next one.